On today's show, the first legal drone delivery happens in the United States, and no, it was not by Amazon. Also, even though you're never going to be an astronaut, probably, you can still tour the ISS.
Also, a really awesome movie that's coming from the Oculus Studios pretty soon, hopefully. Cross your fingers. It's Tomorrow Daily.
Greetings, citizens of the internet. Welcome to Tomorrow Daily, the best geek talk show in the known universe. I'm Ashley Skeva. That's Khail Anonymous.
Windows 10!
Windows 10!
Pay for your solitaire.
Oh man, I can't believe
It's not a story, but let me just tell you real quick.
It's a non-story.
This has been my favorite non-story. For Windows 10, if you want to play solitaire, you know, the card game that you usually get for free and you play
alone.
You play alone. They're going to offer it for free. However, it's going to have ads, and you have to pay to remove them. $2 a month. If you want them removed.
A month.
Not
permanent.
No, wait. There's a little deal.
Oh, okay, there's a deal. Okay.
So $10 a year.
What?
Or $10 a year. Not forever.
I'm offended.
$10 a year, so way to go.
Maybe they're assuming, listen, pal, you're not going to be alone forever, hopefully. So you really only need to re-up this once a year. And then, you know, like, oh, if you just keep paying every year if you're alone. Like,
it's
that's really insulting.
Loneliness.
Yeah, it's to fight loneliness.
It's
like,
to get you out there.
Get out there, bub, or else you're going to be paying $10 a year for the rest of your life.
Spend those $2 on someone that you love.
Or a real deck of cards. Let's hit the headlines. All right, so I didn't mean to be mean about the never going to be an astronaut thing, but I include myself in that. I'm probably never going to be an astronaut unless they make it really easy to be an astronaut, which I don't see happening anytime
like those
soon.
Online things, you can just become a minister. Sure.
Yeah, exactly. The Universal Life Church starts a space station. That's what I need. So I have great news if you've ever wanted to visit the ISS and you're like me. You can now, which is really awesome. The ESA, the European Space Agency, just released, unveiled, launched, whatever have you, this great tour, interactive tour of the ISS. So Italian astronaut Samantha Cristoforetti was up there for 199 days. She broke a record for the longest female stay up in the International Space Station. And while she was up there, she took a ton of high-res pictures. At least 15 in every single pod.
Cool.
So she took a ton of high-res pictures and they stitched them all together into this awesome interactive 360-degree experience. You can go to all sorts of different places in the pod. If you click on the videos, you can get, there's like text, you can read about different pieces of the International Space Station. There's even video, like if you see a little play button, you can check out like, oh, hey, like, what's this? And you say, I want to check out what this thing is, and you can click on the little play buttons, and up pops a video with Italian astronaut Samantha. She is talking about like what each thing is in each pod. Like she'll explain what it is. It's really, really cool. I highly recommend it. It's a great full screen experience on your computer. The only thing that isn't available yet is the Russian pods at the International Space Station.
Oh.
But they did say, the ESA said that those will hopefully all be available later this year. So they're working on that.
So this is while it's in space, then?
Oh yeah, of course.
That's incredible.
She was up there. She took all these pictures, and this is
a stupid question.
This is recent, as of I believe June 2015, so last month.
Whoa,
so it's very, very recent. She has all these great pictures. They got stitched together. And it's so cool. And if you want to educate yourself about the International Space Station, I mean, it's a fantastic way to do so. And I love whenever the lovely Samantha Cristoforetti is talking, her hair is raised because there's like very low gravity up there, so she's got like raised hair and she's like talking about stuff.
That's a rubber house.
Yeah. But yeah, so really amazing stuff. So thank you, ESA, because that's the way I'm going to get to experience the International Space Station, because I'll never be an astronaut.
We're not smart. Speaking of which, I don't know how that's not a transition.
That's an Ashley-esque. That's Ashley levels of transition, please.
Okay, so let's talk virtual reality, because that was almost virtual reality. There's your transition.
There you go.
I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but Oculus is desperately trying to show that they are not just a gaming device. Mm-hmm. They're trying to show that this could open up a whole new route for filmmakers, and why not have your second offering in that sort of world be from someone that used to work at Pixar?
That's pretty good.
I present to you Henry, the story of a little tiny porcupine who just loves hugs, but for some reason nobody wants to hug him. Anytime he hugs something,
Like he has
it's
those
painful.
spikes. That seems pretty bad.
Exactly. So this is from Oculus Story Studio. This is the entertainment division. Again, this is about Henry, a little porcupine that loves to hug. This is made by Ramiro Lopez Dua, who is a former Pixar animator. You can definitely see some Pixar in it.
Yep.
We'll get to the animation. I mean, the actual animation, I assume, right?
This is the trailer, so they'll start off with the whole
Okay,
thing. Started off with the quick stuff, and there's somebody experiencing there you go. So there's some of the animation.
There you go. Yeah, well, you'll see it a little bit more in living color here in a second. But this will come with the Rift when you buy it, and it's a little experience. And Ramiro says that it really adds to the way that you're engaging in the film. Because look, I know that if you haven't tried the Oculus, it's really hard to understand why it's such a cool device.
Yeah.
Living in this world and like being able to experience it with him, Ramiro says that it makes him seem more real, like a real creature rather than having somebody giving you a window. It's more like you're actually there. So it's, again, honestly, here's the thing.
Okay.
It's adorable. It's super cute, and it's definitely the kind of thing you'd want to be a part of. There's been a lot of hurdles as to how do we drop someone into a world and make it feel like they're part of it. Animation is the perfect way to do it.
That's a pretty good way. Pretty good medium.
And Pixar people seem to have a pretty good grasp. But I know he's not Pixar currently. But yeah, I know he should have to wear that on his head. But let me read this quote from Palmer Luckey at Oculus.
Okay.
So they say they hope to have 10 to 20 bits of content for Rifters at launch. 10 to 20 movie-ish type offerings,
free experiences,
like Henry,
things like
for
that. Okay.
free
Gotcha.
to anybody that buys an Oculus Rift. And I think that is a great strategy.
Very smart.
Because a lot of these headsets launched with almost nothing.
Almost nothing. Well, and also, I mean, you made the point earlier, which is it's so hard to explain to somebody what Oculus is and how cool it is in VR in general, like how amazing it is until you try it for yourself and then you go, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Like the moment happens, the light bulb goes on as soon as you experience something that you're invested in, engaged in. And that's a great way to have people say, oh, hey, Mom, like, I know you won't like this first-person shooter, but check out this cute little video of a headshot. Like, having all these different types of content is a really great way to sort of demo it to your friends. It's a great way to show people what these headsets can do. And so for me,
everybody loves Pixar.
Everybody loves Pixar. Everybody, I mean, and even if you have, you know, maybe then you have like a tour of the Louvre and you have this and you have this and you have all these different little pieces that suit somebody's lifestyle or suit someone's personality to say, oh, this is why I need a Rift. Not for gaming, but for Pixar films, or I need a Rift for tours, like international touring. Like I want to go do that in virtual reality. Like it's a great way to hook people and to get people to share their Oculus Rift experiences with others, which is exactly what they want. So really, really smart.
I more so think it's important that they have content when it comes out. Because again, every other headset didn't sell crazy because they had nothing. But again, yeah, branching out and having more than just video games is great because, you know, maybe my sister doesn't want to play video games on the VR.
Exactly.
You suck, sister.
You're the worst.
Anyway, so that brings us to our hashtag of the day, which I will not allow my sister to answer, which is hashtag TDHenry. The question is, what's the plot of your Blockbuster VR movie? You get to make a VR movie. What is the plot of that? I know Pin's going to write a little novel about this.
I bet you Pin will just send us his screenplay. Like he'll be like, here's my script.
So I want mine to be kind of like, almost like a Telltale kind of games. But I'm basically falling back into Fallout, which is, it's kind of a choose your own adventure type thing where it can kind of veer up. So it's like a movie, but I get to kind of control the ending. Like it goes different places. Okay,
so I totally, like, that's almost exactly what I was going to, not a Telltale game, but an actual like Ed Packard choose your own adventure book. That would be awesome. So a simple concept of like going into a haunted house, but then like ending up in some other dimension or something. Like that is the thing that I want to do. Like, so I would adapt a choose your own adventure book like directly into a VR experience.
Yeah.
But I like this Telltale one too, where you have like kind of an arc of story and it's a story, but then everyone reacts to you differently based on your actions and your words. Like maybe you have a headset and talk to the characters and stuff. That would be really cool.
Yeah, I can see people getting more engaged into it. Because the problem with VR is you have to get people engaged in the world, make them feel a part of it. And that sort of extra I'm choosing the story will just suck you in even more.
Yeah,
So.
well, and that's why people love those Telltale games, because they get to choose, which is, I mean, that's such a hook, because people
and
get
you're
to
a
say,
point and click lady,
love
so.
it. So yeah, I'm all about it. Okay, let's talk about drone delivery. This is awesome. It wasn't Amazon. I was shocked to read this. The very first legal drone delivery happened. Calm down, Kevin McAllister. The first legal drone delivery happened in the U.S. and it wasn't Amazon. It was actually NASA working with a bunch of other companies, private companies, and this startup drone delivery company called Flirty. And they used 2 drones to do this. This was a test run in Virginia. They had a very large drone that was a modified version of a NASA drone that had to go from one airport to the other, because Flirty's drones are short distance delivery drones. So there it is, delivering a package of a medical kit right down onto the ground. So there it goes. Whee,
right on target?
Down. I don't know that they had like a little landing pad or anything, but I think they had an area they knew they could drop the item into. So they had 6 medical kits, and they were like, we're gonna do 6 separate trips, and we're gonna do tests every single time. But the great news is, guys, the first 2 trips went so well and so smoothly that they decided on the 3rd trip, well, you know what? Forget it. Let's just pack all 4 of the rest of the medical kits into the drone and deliver them. And also that went very smoothly.
Oh.
Didn't have any issues. There was no terrible explosions or malfunctions. There was nothing bad that happened. And so, yeah, it went very, very well. And they were saying, especially with things like this, like medical kits, there are a lot of regional areas where people have to drive on, 1-lane roads to get to to get to places. And maybe they need emergency services. Like, let's say, you have a hurricane, like Hurricane Sandy go through, rural areas in the country need medical equipment quickly. And a lot of times these service vehicles, they have a tough time getting through.
Now that's a good use for delivery drones.
I agree. And so Amazon actually had a very interesting proposition, like related to this. Amazon proposed recently that they want to make a sort of delivery drone highway in the sky. And they would do that by designating a section of airspace lower than you would see a standard plane flying in, and also just larger crafts, 200 to 400 feet above the ground. So that would be the area in which Amazon's delivery drones would be able to just deliver stuff, and nothing could fly in that space unless it was approved by Amazon. This is like their idea. This is not actually going to happen. I don't see this. I don't see the United States of America going, yeah, let's just give 200 to 400 feet above the air everywhere except above airports to Amazon. Like, I don't see that happening.
The Amazon layer.
The Amazon lane. And so Amazon Air was saying, oh yeah, we want to have this like zone, and then we'd have a buffer between 400 and 500 feet where nothing could fly. And then it would keep smaller craft safe from bigger craft and vice versa. So interesting idea that they think that the way forward for delivery drones is sort of this kind of highway section of sky at a certain altitude above the ground. So we'll see, but I mean, it's, again, so many regulations, like rules, new things need to start happening with unmanned aerial vehicles, especially with companies and people. It's just a big mess.
I don't like that you keep tying Amazon back into this, because Amazon is doing it for Amazon.
Of course they are, but the thing is private corporations a lot of times push innovation in terms of, because of capitalism, they want a bunch of money, so they're like, how can we make more money? Let's deliver via drone. And so they're really leading, they're one of the leaders in the push for drone delivery. Yeah. So you can't deny them that.
But I will deny that I don't want to look up into the sky and hear.
Oh, no. I agree.
For the like medical supplies.
Great.
Send somebody a heart.
Emergencies. I love all this. I like the idea of organ. Yeah, like patient organ donation. Like you get it from one hospital to the other. You don't have to sit in traffic. You don't have to pay for a helicopter to airlift it. Like you can just get there. Like that would be great. But I don't know about this. Like, I'm sorry, everybody. I don't need my phone mount for my car to come via drone. Like, not yet. I mean, I haven't gotten to that point where I'm like, I need drone delivery. Like, I just don't. Look, they deliver on Sundays. Isn't that enough, everybody? Isn't that enough? Sundays? It's like a miracle. All right. On that note, we're going to watch a big rig leap over. We're just going to watch it jump. It's insane. It set a world record. It's really cool. We'll be right back. It's Smart Daily. Welcome back to the show. Khail, do you get out of bed early in the morning? Do you like enjoy getting up early? You don't strike me as the kind of person who you just love it.
No. I wish I did when I slept normal, yeah. But tell me how I can fix that.
Well, you can definitely fix that with this week's Mod Squad. So there's a guy on YouTube. His name's Colin Furs. He's an inventor, he's a builder. He's made some really cool stuff. And now maybe, I'm not gonna say he's crossed the line because I think this is hilarious, but I also have Wile E. Coyote visions in my head. This is a catapult bed. He made a catapult bed to launch you out. He says it's very low pressure. He doesn't want to blow you through the roof or anything like that. It's got a big steel frame. It's got a giant hinge on it. You see there's a headboard there, space for a headboard. There's an air compressor underneath. It'll just knock you right out. Knock you right out of bed. It'll push you right out of there. So he built this whole thing and he's like, yeah, okay, here it is. Like it works. The frame works. He was testing the frame. That was what the video is. It's him building the frame. And now, as of tomorrow, if all things go according to plan, supposedly Colin will be posting an actual video of a full bed. Like he's gonna put a mattress in there, and I'm assuming he's gonna test it out. I mean, I'd ask a friend to test it if that was me.
I wouldn't say that. He's being nice about it.
He's being nice about it. This guy needs to build stuff for the Acme Corporation. Like, right? Like, this seems like a bed that Wile E. Coyote would
Or like Goofy would sleep
Goofy,
on it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Where he has the problem getting up out of bed, and then finally it's like he has to launch him out of the bed.
Looks like it just slides you out of the bed, so there's that.
Yeah, and it also has a blue warning light that flashes, like when you're, like, say your alarm goes off. It's a blue warning light flashes like, hey, bro, like, get up, or else.
I don't know. The problem is getting up in time to get that.
To get out of the way. Yeah, maybe that's the dangerous thing. So I thought that was really funny and really cool. I know it's super brief, but very entertained by it.
So tomorrow,
supposedly, let's all go over to Colin Furs, F-U-R-Z-E. Let's all go. I'll go over to Colin Furs' YouTube page and watch the demo because he says he's gonna upload it tomorrow.
Okay.
So
all right.
There you have it. But now let's go from you might actually see somebody get launched into outer space. Who knows? Maybe there will be a malfunction. All right, guys, now we got to talk about you. It's time for user feedback. So we asked everybody to use the hashtag TDNewAI to think of nice things autonomous robots could do for us, as opposed to weapons, because everyone's so scared of killer robots.
And mine was to replace me.
Yes.
And that would be great.
That would be I would like maybe just have a robot drive me around. That would be a nice autonomous robot. But I'm going to get that anyway, self-driving cars. So Oliver wrote in and said, I would make a robot cat, so it would be a ninja cat, and it would become Khail's pet.
Woo! Yes, Oliver.
Thinking about Khail.
Will
writes in and says, AI teachers tailoring curriculum to maximize how much each person learns. More smart people equals less problems and innovation. Not less innovation, but more innovation. Less problems, more innovation.
Did you say less innovation?
He's just said less problems, less problems and innovation. So I think he meant more.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he meant less.
It's a good thing, though.
I got what you were saying. Rick wrote in and said the AI should watch all the Game of Thrones and Walking Dead episodes and predict which character would die next. Shout out to Khail Anonymous' team.
Yeah, what's up? Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to know who's gonna die next, because I'd be scared.
I wouldn't want to know the odds, the percentages. Like, there's people who
maybe
bet
if you're
on
a betting man,
yeah.
If you're a betting man, that would be a good one.
You want to know the odds? You're like, all right, I'm gonna go down to my local bookie and put money down on Sansa winning the Game of Thrones. Like, I wonder if you could do that. I'm sure you can. Dustin wrote in, lastly, it says, the best use I can think of for new AI is, of course, an autonomous pizza delivery drone that you don't tip.
Woo! And you get to keep maybe if the drone was made of pizza, too.
You just eat it.
Thanks, drone.
It's got like edible drones, like send it over. It's made of chocolate, but you can only fly it when it's cold outside, otherwise it'll just melt in the sky. That would be the worst. All right, guys, it is time for our very last piece of user feedback, which is always our photographer of the day. So we didn't spend a lot of time on Mod Squad, but that's because this is a little bit of a longer email, but he describes the location he took the picture of so well that I wanted to read it. So this is from Joshua, and he took this with his Sony Xperia M2. And he says, Mabuhay, hello Ashley, Khail, and the awesome crew of Tomorrow Daily. My name is Joshua from the Philippines, and I would like to share with you my photos of our church and hopefully be considered as photographer of the day. I'm using my Sony Xperia M2 LTE. This is the Mary Immaculate Parish in Las Piñas City, located in the southern part of Manila in the Philippines. It's also known as the Nature Church because of the architecture and the surroundings full of thick palm trees and plants. We're going to get a little history lesson here.
Let's hear it.
This Roman Catholic church was built in 1986 using a roof made of kogon and 40,000 footstool palm leaves, chairs, pews made from typhoon-felled star apple trees, strops and logs, kneelers made from flat pieces of wood, a patchwork stone flooring, and wooden slabs mingling with pebble washout. And from above is a dove lantern made of window pane oyster shells flying from the fringes on the center of the ceiling, illuminating the church by night. Also, there's a mini chapel located behind this rock cave and an adoration hall. Once you enter, you feel the privacy, solemnity, and the spiritual silence. Been an avid fan of your show since episode 1. Keep up the good work, and God bless. Cheers, Joshua. So that's the church. That's a church. That is a straight place. That is a location of worship. That's beautiful.
Wow.
I think more people would go to church if it was in a place like that.
Oh my, people take vacations to
People
places like that.
book rooms at that church, book a resort stay.
That's an incredible thing. Thank you for sharing and making a little bit more history.
We learned
something. We
something.
like both sides of the coin. So
I like stories. I like stories about places you take. I mean, I'll take all of it. It's great. If you want to submit your photography and maybe a little story of your own, you can email us tomorrow@cnet.com. You can always find us on social media as well. We're Tomorrow Daily, mostly for promotional purposes. So if you really want to talk to us, find us on social media. I'm on Twitter at Ashley Skeva.
And I'm at Khail and Ashley.
Yeah, and it's super easy, I promise you. And we're actually pretty good about responding to people. Pretty good.
I should check.
Unless you're the worst, like his sister, in which case
Yeah.
Khail will never respond.
Stop watching this. She doesn't watch the show. Start watching the show so you can stop.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect. All right, guys, that's it for today's show. We will be back tomorrow with a brand new docket of weird science facts, science fiction stuff blowing up in your face. But until then, be good humans. We'll see you next time. Bye.